Good morning, students. Today we'll be continuing with the same chapter, the flower. I hope you all have drawn the diagram of the flower in your bioregisters and have studied and gone through the chapter till the sexuality in flowers. Now we'll be continuing with the same chapter. The next topic is general description of the floral parts. Now the very first part which we have discussed in the last class was calyx. Calyx was the outermost or the first whorl that consisted of sepals. The green leaf-like structure called the sepal. Now there are it can be 5 sepals in a flower, more than 5 or less than 5 also. So it depends on the flower to flower. Then there are two arrangement of sepals rather. That is, if the sepals are free, they are separated, they are free, then they are called polysepalous. When they are fused together, all the sepals, they are fused together, they will be called as gamosepalous. So gamo means fused, poly means there are many, right? So second series of sepals, if the flower is having 2 series of sepals, that is 1 series and 1 more series, then the sepals are called, the second series of sepals, they are called episepals, and collectively they will be called as epicalyx. That is both the sepals originally the outermost, and 1 more series if we have, that is called episepalous. So sepals plus the episepals, they are collectively called as epicalyx. Now the major function. So function, as I have told you in the last video also, that function and location is the most important thing. So function is to protect the young flower bud. But in case if the sepals are green, they can perform photosynthesis. Otherwise, only if you are writing photosynthesis that they carry out photosynthesis. So they are not carrying out photosynthesis. They are carrying out photosynthesis only when they are green. So it is very important to mention, if you are writing about photosynthesis, then you have to write when green they perform photosynthesis, because we have come across the perianth term also, that sometimes sepals are non-green in color, so that in that case they cannot perform photosynthesis. So we cannot simply write photosynthesis, we need to write when green they perform photosynthesis. So that is important. Otherwise, this is the easiest one, that they protect the young flower bud. So as you can see, the bud, everybody must have seen the bud, especially the rose bud, everybody have seen. So that is the green leaf-like structure, that is the sepals, which is enclosing the whole bud, even the petals also in the bud formation, bud condition. Now the next whorl is corolla, which are consisting of petals. So it can be in a single whorl, one row, maybe it can be double whorl, it can be spiral also. Then again the arrangement can be free or fused, same way. So poly, I have already told, means free. So if it is free petals, all the petals are freely attached, then they are called polypetalous. If in case the petals are fused together, they will be called as gamopetalis. Function, as they are brightly colored, so their function will be to attract insects, and the second one is to protect the stamens and pistils as well. Now comes the necessary parts, or the essential parts, or the reproductive parts that we will be coming across. The third whorl is the androecium, or the male part of the flower, which is consisting of stamen. It can be from few to large number. They are present. So majorly the androecium is having 2 parts, anther and filament. The filament is the tube-like structure. Anther is a bilobed. 2 lobes are there, and each lobe each lobe, as you can see here, it is having two pollen sacs. So that means if it is a bilobed structure, that means 2 lobes will be there, each lobe carrying 2 pollen sacs. So that means in total 4 pollen sacs will be present in the one anther, right? And into this pollen sac, the pollen grains are the powdery thing, that is the which will be forming serving as the male gamete. So they are present in the pollen sac, they are filled into this, and then this is the filament. Now as the pollen grains, they become mature, then what happens, the pollen sacs, they get matured, they just rupture and the pollen grains just erupt from it, and then the pollination takes place. Now the anther the stamens, they can be free or joined, freely attached, or they can be joined. If they are joined, then the 3 arrangements are there. Cohesion means join. Joining we can say, or cohesion, it's the same, of the stamens. So it can be monoadelphous. Mono means one, single. That means all the anthers are free. Monoadelphous. Then how the second is there, that is diadelphous. That means 2. In case of P, 1 plus 9 arrangement, that 9 of the stamens are attached together and one is freely attached. And then it can be polyadelphous. In this case, there are several groups made, several stamens, they attach to each other in the case of bombats. Now adelphous means group of brothers, right? Adelphous means group of brothers, mono single, di 2, poly several. Now comes the next whorl, that is the female part, or the 4th whorl, innermost whorl, gynoecium, which is the carpel, right? So it can be 1 or more, it depends. It is again having 3 parts, 3 major parts. The lobes, the knob structure, right? This is called stigma. The tube-like structure, style, and then the swollen part, that is the ovary, and inside the ovules are present, right? So what is the function of stigma? Stigma is the landing place for pollen. So once the pollen grains have been ruptured from the the pollen sacs have ruptured to liberate the pollen grain, then the pollen grains will be coming and sitting onto this part, that is the stigma, which is acting as a landing place. Then the next is style. Its function majorly is to connect stigma to ovary. Then ovary is to majorly consisting of containing the ovules, that is the female gametes, female egg cells, right? Now the placenta, there is one term called placenta. Now placenta is what? It is a cushion or swollen region in the ovary attaching the ovules to the wall of the ovary. So now ovary and ovules are attached by a cushion or a swollen region, or this is the tissue. This tissue is nothing but the placenta. So this region where the ovules and the ovary are attached, that part is called, that cushion or swollen region, or we can say the tissues by which this get attached, ovules with the ovary, is called the placenta. Now the next is the sexuality in plants. It can be on the basis of their sexuality. They can be classified into monoecious or dioecious plants. Monoecious means only that male and female flowers grow on the same plant, that both the males and females, they are growing on the same plant, on one plant only both are growing. So single plant both are there, so monoecious. If they are growing on different plants, then they will be called as dioecious plants. Now inflorescence. Inflorescence means the mode of arrangement of flowers on the axis of the plant, that how the arrangement of the flowers are being done, that is called inflorescence. What it is called? Inflorescence. Now they can be arranged next to each other like this. The arrangement can be like this. It can be on the axis of the leaves. That can be also the one type of arrangement, or maybe the third type of arrangement, where from wherever they are, they will be growing at the same line. Maybe the flowers are arising from the base of the plant, but still they are growing to the same height. And the last is the ray floret, in which just like the ray of ray floret, it can be grown, and in this the flowers will be arranged at like this, and just like a ray, and the youngest, the middle one, the central one will be the youngest flower, and the outermost will be the oldest flower. Now placenta, as we have already discussed, placenta is nothing but again the definition is given in your books, so both the definitions, any one of them you can just go through it. Tissue that attaches the ovule to the ovary wall of the ovary. It can be the tissue or the swollen or the cushion-like region. Both are correct. Now placentation. There is a difference between placenta, placentation, or we say placentation or inflorescence. Placentation means manner in which the ovules are arranged or attached to the wall of the ovary. So how the flowers are arranged on the axis of the plant is the inflorescence, and the ovules, how they are arranged, they are called, that arrangement, the manner in which they are arranged, that manner is called the placentation. And ovules, they just turn into seeds in the matured, when ovary turns into a fruit, then ovules, they turn into the seeds after the fertilization process, that we'll be discussing and understanding in the next chapters. So I hope you all have understood. Please go through the chapter properly and kindly draw the diagram of the flower, and the homework which you need to do is these questions, only from short answer type questions. Question 1, A, B, C and D. Question 2, A, B and C part. Question 3, A, B, C and D part. Question 4, again A, B, C and D part. All these parts you have to do in the bio register, whereas other questions, the remaining question, maybe it is MCQ or short answer type question or diagram based, all these questions you have, all those questions you have to do it in your books and solve them. I hope you all have understood well. If you have any query, you can surely come back to us.